Montclair Arena is the home of the Montclair Mounties, and today TV3 Sports presents an ice hockey matchup between Montclair and the Green Knights of St. Joseph's. Good evening, everyone. I'm Matt Lachlan, along with me, Pete Caggiano, and we welcome you to our coverage of this evening's game. Pete, a rematch of last year's state championship game, and what a thriller that one was.
That sure was, Matt. Montclair eked out a 2-1 victory over St. Joe's in a very hard-fought game at the Menin Arena last year. Dan Corcoran, then junior, now senior, scored with the slap shot from the point to give Montclair that 2-1 state final victory.
That was Montclair's second successive state championship, but Pete, in tonight's game, the roles have reversed just a little bit. It's St. Joseph's with perhaps the best team in the state, and Montclair looking to knock them off.
Right now, St. Joe's is right on top of their game. Coached by Ron Skibbin, they are anchored by their junior goaltender, Brad Pearson. And right now, St. Joe's probably the top team in the state, followed closely by Del Barton. But what I like about St. Joe's is they have depth.
They really do. That's one concern of Bruce Parker. He says we've got 3 or 4 real quality players. St. Joe's might come at us with 8 or 9, so that could be the difference in the game, the depth situation. Pearson is really the last line of defense, of course, as the goaltender, and he has stood up well. He's given up just a little over a goal and a half per game.
Brad Pearson, probably one of the best in the state. Only a junior right now. Goals against average of 1.53. Tends to be a stand-up type goaltender, likes to challenge the shooters.
All right, now that will be the task ahead of Montclair. Try to put the puck past Mr. Pearson. And Montclair, a young team. You don't win back-to-back state championships without a lot of experience, and a lot of that experience has graduated. One player who has recently returned to the lineup, and Montclair has taken off since then, Eric Beersdorfer. Eric
Beersdorfer, big boy, plays the left wing on the first line. Last year, he was a 40-goal scorer for this Montclair team. Since he has rejoined the squad this year, they have 4 victories and only 2 losses.
This is an important game for Montclair, Pete. They're trying to set things up, continue to develop with their changes in the lineup. Beersdorfer back in, as we've mentioned, and hoping to really click for the Gordon Cup and the States. For St. Joe's, though, it's just a matter of continuing to fine-tune, I guess.
Well, Montclair has a lot at stake in this game. They want to prove that they can beat St. Joe's. Earlier this year, they lost a decision of 5-2 in a game. Right now, they're trying to prove to everybody they belong in the league with the St. Joe's, with a Del Barton from the Morris County League. And as you said, Matt, both the state playoffs and the Gordon Cup playoffs are just around the corner. Indeed they are. This is a big tune-up for both teams, and Pete and I will be back with the opening face-off from the Montclair Arena right after this.
St. Joe's at 18-1 has a talented first line. The left winger is Craig Gottschall, the center iceman Ken Blum, Phil Eberle is the right winger, and the defense pairing of Francois Marquis and Ken Dusabo will start the game. In goal, Brad Pearson. And the coach Ron Skibbin in his 3rd year with a very fine record. His first year 14-10-2, last year 20-7, and this year 18-1. Meanwhile for Montclair, their first line, Eric Beersdorfer, sophomore Brian Felber centers the line. Julian Clark is the right wing. Hunter Ross and Rob DiGeronimo are the defensemen. And in goal, Riku Raijonen, a sophomore, 5'11", 160-pounder for Bruce Parker in his 6th year, and play is underway.
Matt, it should be a good game tonight. What we're looking at is 2 of the top teams in the state.
This is Eberle cutting to his backhand side, throws it in front, no one there. Julian Clark in the corner tries to free it up. Montclair's task tonight, they will try to play physically, but not dirty. They feel if they can bump and grind, they can slow down St. Joseph's. However, if they get caught with a penalty situation or several penalty situations and their quality players go off, as we mentioned, Bruce Parker feels he's got 3 or 4 quality players to St. Joe's 8 or 9. He says we cannot trade player for player. He said that happened in the first game. It cost us. They were up 2-1 after a period and a half. They wound up losing 5-2.
Matty, tonight you'll see St. Joe's rotate 3 complete lines, while the Mounties will probably skate 2.5. and use one of their top guys to supplement that third line.
George Nemeth tries to keep it in for the Mounties, and coming out is Chris Frost. Frost plays it across the blue line. Behind the net, Rajonen leaves it off for Dan Corcoran. Chris Frost can't keep it in at the blue line. Possible break, but that's quickly taken care of as Scott Williams bodies Rob Haberbush into the boards. And we get an icing call. 13:27 to play in our opening period.
Pretty even game so far. Both squads skating up and down.
Bruce Parker in his 6th year. And we've said it before in games we've televised with Montclair. You will never tell by looking at Bruce Parker whether his team is up, down, playing well, playing poorly. He keeps the same demeanor throughout. Native of Massachusetts.
And that same demeanor is shown on the faces of his players as they play hard all the time.
Gottschall has it knocked away by DiGeronimo, who plays it up. Marquis sends it up to center ice. This is Eberle. 2-on-2 break. Tries to get around Hunter Ross. He's in front. Loose puck, and St. Joe says a goal, but no indication from the officials. By the way, Ed Holm and Vin Godleski are our officials tonight.
That was a shot on goal, but it was an excellent save by the Montclair goaltender. That time, Phil Eberle circled the right side, tried to go with the backhand, but was unable to slip it past. And our score remains. Here we'll take a look at the replay. Watch as he goes around the outside. Now, the quick shot. Whoa, that was close.
Awfully close. Did not go across the line, however. Eberle along the boards. His team looking to break out, backhands it across the ice. Dan Corcoran plays it ahead. Eberle looking for Blum off the boards, knocked back in by Nemeth. Gottschall leaves it, and it's tapped in by Felber. Now Marquis tries to clear it and finally does.
I want our viewers to watch number 9 of St. Joe's, Ken Blum. This year with 38 goals and 44 assists for 82 points. Probably one of the most offensive powers in the state.
Here's a break for Beiersdorfer. He sends it just wide. Beiersdorfer took it right off the stick of the St. Joe player and put it right on net. And now Beiersdorfer in front has a tapper that goes wide. Eric Beiersdorfer at 6'2", 190 pounds. A big target. And this first line for Montclair can play very physical. They're a tall, physical, strong group. Marquis bangs it off the boards and all the way down, and we'll get the automatic icing.
The smallest fellow on that front line of Montclair is Julian Clark, and he's 6'1".
Beiersdorfer broke in on goal and just sent it wide.
Watch right there. It was a quick shot as he saw the defenseman coming up on top of him. That was Ken Deuceabout, came up and forced Beiersdorfer to let the shot go quickly and not able to get a good one on Brad Pearson.
Beiersdorfer had Pearson beat, but it was just wide. 11:45 to play in the opening period. Matt Lachlan along with Pete Caggiano. 11-7 Montclair hosting 18-1 St. Joseph's of Montvale. Chris Kenrick trying to free it. Now Kenrick coming out in front. Soft backhander is steered into the corner. Haberbush double teamed along the boards. Now Kenrick tries to free it, and out comes St. Joseph's. Here's Chris Frost. Plays it left side. The left side as netminder Rajonen looks at it. Right side as St. Joe's attacks it. Now it's played out in front. Comes way out and finally is pushed free.
Good defensive play by Hunter Ross right there, picking up the St. Joe's forward as he was crashing in front of the net, able to tie him up so he could not receive that pass from the corner.
Rob DiGeronimo plays it in. Behind the net it goes. Scott Williams, the sophomore defender, loses it. It's played out in front, and Pearson will cover up. Little jostling after the whistle blows. 10:46 to play.
Montclair Mounties carrying some of the pressure here early in the first period. St. Joe's had that one good scoring opportunity, but the puck just wouldn't go over the line.
St. Joe's only loss came 3 games ago to the Petty School by a score of 3-2. They had won 16 straight. They've won 2 since. This is Marquis, one of the 3 tri-captains. Marquis at center ice, plays it up ahead for Gottschall. He can't control it. Julian Clark sends it ahead for Felber, but it's intercepted by Eberle. Eberle for Marquis, knocked away as a good forecheck applied by Clark, but Marquis will recover as Montclair for a moment couldn't find the puck.
Matty, nice story about Julian Clark. According to Bruce Parker, said Julian is probably the most improved player over last year. Last year, Julian skated on a 4th line. This year, he's skating on the top line with Brian Felber and Eric Beiersdorfer.
One of the difficulties for Montclair, and we talked about it in the open, with back-to-back state championships, you will graduate a lot of experience. And Bruce said that some of the seniors on this year's team sat on that 4th and 3rd line behind some of the graduated stars, and this is the first year they've had to go up against first-line competition. They struggled a little bit in the early going, but things have straightened out for Montclair, and they feel that things are coming together at the right time.
Now is the time of the season when you want to peak with your league championship, the Gordon Cup playoffs coming up, and of course the state playoffs coming up. And you take a look at the defense for the Montclair Mounties, and you find only 1 senior, Dan Corcoran. The other 3 fellows, Hunter Ross, George Nemeth, and Rob DiGeronimo, all underclassmen.
Nice pass ahead. This is Mark Umeda. 2-on-1 opportunity goes awry as Frost couldn't handle the pass from Umeda. Chris O'Connor tries to break out, loses control. Scott Williams plays it back in. Here's DiGeronimo. Rob DiGeronimo circling, plays it off the boards for Hunter Ross. Ross tries to center a pass. It's deflected off the skate. And here's a big slap shot right into Hunter Ross, and we get the whistle as the officials lost sight of it for just a moment.
That time Hunter Ross took the shot right square in his chest. Watch as the shot comes from the point. Nice drop pass by St. Joe's. You see Hunter Ross right there in the center of your picture. He doesn't know what's lodged in his uniform as you see him turn around, and then the officials blow the whistle because they lost sight of it.
Tim Allen with the blast that Ross probably will feel tomorrow.
Yes. You're too pumped up now during the game. A shot like that doesn't matter. But tomorrow morning when you get up, that's when you'll know it.
Break for St. Joe's and a big save by Rajonen as he took the puck off the stick of Gottschall and cleared it high. Best opportunity for the Green Knights, and Rajonen up to the task. And we get an offside as Blum could not get across the blue line and was hit by the puck.
That time, Rajonen made an excellent save, but the pass by Ken Blum was superior. And that time, as you take a look, there's the pass. The shot coming from the right side of the screen gets the top of his stick on it, just enough to deflect it over the net.
8:51 to play in the first period. Ken Ducevo checked hard into the boards. Felber comes away with it, but it's knocked away by Marquis. Marquis plays it ahead to Blum. 1-on-2 rush. Ross takes the body and does a fine job of it. The puck now underneath Blum, but it comes free. Julian Clark trying to play it off the boards, and now the puck is stuck underneath of Craig Gottschall, and we will have a face-off. Nice move by Ross, taking the body and riding Ken Blum off the play.
Classic one-on-one. Hunter Ross, the defenseman. Ken Blum, the swift skating center of St. Joe's, tried to go around the outside. That time Hunter Ross just went with the momentum, continued to push him outside, and rode him right into the boards, taking away any scoring opportunity he might have had.
Blum, a 38-goal scorer, has been scouted by Hartford and the Devils. Puck goes all the way down the other end of the ice. We'll have an icing. We'll come back.
Matt, this is the first year that Ken Blum has more assists than goals. Usually Ken was the only goal scorer on this squad. But this year, Larry Gottschall with 24, and Phil Eberle has 25 to kind of round out that first line.
Corcoran backhands it into center ice. Tim Allen plays it ahead. Now it's settled by Scott Williams. Williams cross-ice pass for Dave Infantino. Plays it back for Allen, loose puck, and it's picked up by Brad Mandry. Mandry, the younger brother of Carlton and Phil Mandry. Phil graduated last year. Brad is the last Mandry boy. I said to Bruce, any girls in the family? He said a couple. I said perhaps we'll see them in a Montclair uniform. Mandry family has been very important to the recent success of the Mounties.
Matt, don't laugh. There have been girls that have played in this league before.
I was serious.
Okay, I know one played for West Orange a couple years ago, and I think one might be playing for either West Essex or Clifton.
Frost plays it off the boards as St. Joe's makes a change on the fly. George Nemeth headmans the pass for Chris O'Connor, too far. Here's Blum with it, makes a nice move circling into the Montclair end, loses possession. Puck is free. Nemeth tries to stick it clean. Eberle tries to play down in front now for Gottschall and cannot. Kept in by Dusabau. And here's Nemeth. Nemeth in the corner, plays it up for O'Connor. O'Connor can't control it. Puck in front just goes wide. Ken Blum with a quick shot, just sent it wide. Here's Blum with it. Plays it out in front, knocked away by O'Connor. Blum with it again, plays it cross ice. Big slap shot deflected by O'Connor. And Chris O'Connor, the freshman's been all over the ice.
Notice the quick shot by Ken Blum. He had that puck in the slot maybe half a second with the screen in front, let the quick wrist shot go, but unfortunately it went just wide. A lot of pressure that time by St. Joe's. There's the big senior Ken Blum going back to his bench. As mentioned earlier, 6'1", 180 pounds.
And has added toughness to his game, according to Ron Skibbin. The one dimension he lacked perhaps in past years, he picked up over the summer and has worked it to his advantage this year. St. Joe's really starting to apply the pressure now, Pete. It was Montclair in the beginning, now it's St. Joe. Scott Williams plays it off the boards into the Montclair end. Rajonen stops it behind the net.
Notice different styles. St. Joe's playing the dump and chase, relying on the quickness of their forwards to outskate Montclair's defensemen. Montclair likes to set it up and play it one step at a time. Whistle for a player striking the puck above the height of 4 feet, and then first controlled by a teammate. So St. Joe's will have the faceoff moved all the way back in front of their own goaltender, Brad Pearson.
Both teams will take the opportunity to send out some fresh troops. Ken Blum out to take the face for St. Joe's, and Rob Haberbush out there for Montclair. This is what Ron Skibbin had hoped to be able to get the matchup, his 1 against Montclair's 2.
But from talking with Bruce Parker, Montclair's number 2 line is an excellent defensive line, so they should handle this well.
Here's Blum head manning the rush. Nemeth bodies him off the puck. Nemeth loses his edge. We're going to get a penalty at the late call against St. Joe. Rajonen clears the net. 6 skaters on the ice for Montclair. And finally, the puck is touched by Marquis, and we'll get a penalty, and I believe Blum will be going off.
For a hook.
Have number 9 in the green hooking.
There you see Ed Holm, and here Ed Holm making the call. That time when he went down the side, right there, watch. Blum stick right up over the shoulder. And that time he pulled down Hunter Ross. And because of that infraction, Montclair will get their first power play of the evening with just 5:28 remaining here in the first period.
At 9:32, the penalty is called. But this does not necessarily mean a big advantage for Montclair. St. Joseph's has only given up 5 power play goals all year. The opponents are only scoring at a 4% rate.
That's outstanding.
In fact, St. Joe has scored 6 shorthanded goals this year. Beiersdorfer's shot was a bullet that was sticked aside by Pearson. Felber along the boards behind the net. Puck comes free in the corner. Felber tracks it down. Felber plays it back to the point for Corcoran. Cross ice it goes for Ross. Cutting in. Ross with the shot just goes wide. He had that corner wide open. He just sent it wide. Puck behind the net. Felber trying to track it down. Instead, it'll come to Scott Williams. Now Felber recaptures. Out in front looking for Beiersdorfer. Sent back by Pearson. Fighting behind the net for the puck, and we get a whistle and a face-off. And now we're going to get a penalty called on Montclair, and I believe it will be Beiersdorfer going off.
It's going to be against St. Joe's. Francois Marquis is going to sit for 2 minutes for high sticking.
My mistake. I thought it was going to be Beiersdorfer. You'll see them jostling in front.
Now watch. See the stick right there between the legs? That is dangerous. That is dangerous, and that is dirty play. And because of that, our referee, Vin Godleski, made the call.
So a two-man advantage now for Montclair. Ross, quick shot, stopped in front by Allen, and then the rebound is put home between the legs of Brad Pearson, and it's a 1-0 game.
Ryan Felber, using his head, saw the loose puck in the slot, did not shoot it right away, moved to his right, saw the opening between the legs of Brad Pearson, and slid it home for the first goal of the evening.
The sophomore comes up with the goal at 10:31, just the 6th power play goal allowed by St. Joe's, and now Montclair is still at a man advantage for another 1:51 for the penalty against Marquis. So the two-man advantage they take advantage of.
The whole play started when the faceoff was won by Montclair. Quick shot by Hunter Ross. The rebound was sitting right there in the slot. And that's when they were able to score. Now we have a little rough stuff behind the net, as bodies are starting to fly all over.
Tim Allen was crunched behind the nets. His helmet came off, and we'll take a look at it. There's Ross with his back turned, and boom. Beiersdorfer charging from behind. We'll get the call here.
Number 17, 12, and 23.
Well, the extracurricular activity resulting in the extra penalties.
Minor checking, minor penalty, checking from behind.
We're listening in to Vin Godleski.
Minor penalty.
He's calling Beiersdorfer for checking from behind, which will be a 2-minute minor.
That was a clear penalty.
Yes. Could have been a charge, could have been boarding, checking from behind. He had his choice. And there are 2 players going off for St. Joe's right now.
Right now in the box are Marquis, Blum, Gottschall. So the 3 captains are in there. And I also believe that Scott Williams is in there.
Matt, I'm going to have to wait for the public address announcer to set us straight on this one. You're right, there are 4 players in the box.
Well, Marquis was in there for the earlier penalty.
Okay. Blum is in there, even though his penalty expired. He is not allowed out until the 2 minutes expire on the clock. So he's in there, but they're not a man down because of him.
Because the goal was scored.
Correct. Let's see if we can listen in again.
4 guys in there, right? The first penalty is the one that is already, he's just serving his time, is that correct? Okay, he comes out at what time?
Okay, 3:28 and a whistle, the man that was freed up because the power play comes out.
That's Ken Blum they're speaking
about. Okay, the
about.
next one terminates when, assuming there's no goals. Okay, the 1:34, the next one is 2 minutes after that. Yeah, and then the one after that 2 minutes after that. But the
1:34 is Francois Marquis.
People that come out have to wait for a whistle, right? Okay, they have to wait for the whistle. There's no, because there's no room on the ice. They're skating with 3 skaters, and there's a penalty waiting in line. So there's no one comes back on the ice right yet. Okay?
Vinny's saying that no one comes back, but at the 1:34, Francois Marquis is allowed to come back.
You could put,
Let's take a look at what has caused this discussion to take place. Tim Allen chasing the puck behind the net. Now he'll turn his back to the play as he avoids one check by Chris Kenrick. And boom, from behind, Beiersdorfer levels him. That's a 2-minute penalty. Well, now Williams comes in. A little pushing and shoving going on. So that's why Williams is in the box. I don't see where Gottschall comes into the play, because Gottschall is definitely in there.
Put 334 on the board. Put 334 on the board.
And what they're doing right now, and we have to give the officials credit here, they're just making sure everybody understands when players can come out, want to make sure that the coaches are aware when those players can come out.
All right. Matt might be able to take a look and see what else happened on that play.
Look for number 23 coming in from your left.
Right?
Craig Gottschall. There you go.
See that headlock right there?
Bear hug, headlock to Beiersdorfer. So Gottschall coming to the defense of his teammate, but it's going to cost him 2. There's Gottschall. Behind him is Blum. To his left, our right, I believe that's Williams.
That is Scott Williams, number 17.
I don't see where Marquis is. Marquis sitting in the back.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see him motioning in the back.
There he is, just standing up to the right of your screen. Now, after all that is done, we'll be able to start play again with just 4:07 remaining here in the first period.
And Montclair leading by a 1-0 score on Brian Felber's goal. Hunter Ross picked up the assist. So it will be a 4-on-3 skating advantage for Montclair. A lot of open ice. Here's Hunter Ross, but an offside as DiGeronimo was in ahead of the play.
Rob DiGeronimo, the junior defenseman there, just a little bit too anxious, crossing the blue line before his teammate was able to put the puck over the line, causing the offsides.
Clark's going to have to hustle back across the blue line. Here's Corcoran playing it for Clark. Julian Clark looking for a teammate as he settles in the corner. Plays it off the boards for Ross. Eberle knocks it off his stick. Ross plays it for Clark.
Notice the patience on St. Joe's. They're not challenging the man with the puck. They're trying to keep it to the outside, to the perimeter, and not allow it in that slot area.
Ducebo, Eberle, and Allen out on the ice to try and kill this penalty. Here's DiGeronimo off the boards for Clark. Here's Corcoran. Cross ice for Ross. Skates in, he shoots, and it's save made by Pearson. And it's played off the boards by Allen.
Very nice play by Montclair that time. Corcoran slid the puck over to Hunter Ross. He walked in for about 40 feet out, but Brad Pearson was able to make the save.
In front, Corcoran. Loose puck goes across the goal mouth. DiGeronimo skates in, takes the big slapper. He loses his stick because it broke in 2 places. And immediately drops the stick as he must, as the puck went into the corner.
Watch here, you see it's poked by Brian Felber, slides right across the crease. And there you see the shot by Rob DiGeronimo as his stick shatters in 3 different places.
Still a 4-on-3 advantage for Montclair. Brian Felber has come onto the ice. Blum's 2-minute period has expired. He was no longer serving the penalty once Felber scored. If you're just joining us, he was sitting out when Brian Felber scored, but he had to stay in the box until that 2-minute period expired. So Blum is back out on the ice.
That is correct.
4-on-3 advantage. Here's Ross, moves in. It's deflected away. Now Ducebo and Felber fighting for control. Puck pushed into the corner. This is Blum. Blum flips it ahead, but not out. Ross plays it ahead into the corner for Felber. And it's taken away by Ducebo. Ducebo with some open ice sent it all the way down. Penalties have expired to Beiersdorfer, and now Marquis is also out.
Skating 5-on-4 right now.
5-on-4 advantage for Montclair with less than 2 minutes to play in the first period. Here's Beiersdorfer just out of the box, sends it wide, comes out to the point. Corcoran moving in, takes the shot. The wrist shot goes off the stick of Pearson. Ross flips it toward goal, and it's in! Hunter Ross with a bit of a floater. I think the fact that he took something off of it, Pete, might have caused Pearson to fan on it.
Brad Pearson, I'm not sure if he just fanned on trying to make the save or he didn't quite see it all the way. There you see the first shot by Dan Corcoran. Comes back out to Hunter Ross on the left-hand side. You see Ross teeing the shot up. Lets the wrist shot go. could have been screened in front by Chris Kendrick, but somehow that puck snuck through. And now with just over a minute and a half to go in the first period, Montclair with a 2-0 lead.
Goals by Ross and Felber, giving the Mounties the 2-0 lead.
Okay, and that terminates like a substitute for me.
Again, we're having a discussion regarding when the players who are currently in the box, Gottschall and Williams, can come out.
You may recognize that fellow Vin Godleski. He's the fellow last year during the Devils playoff game between the Bruins when the regular officials walked out. He was one of the linesmen.
Along with our good friend Paul McGinnis.
Paul McGinnis from our TV3 viewing area, who refereed that game.
Vin also a minor official at the Devils games, as is Paul.
Paul is usually a goal judge. Vinny, you can usually find him in the penalty box as a penalty timekeeper. Now they're explaining things to Ron Skibbon, the coach of the Green Knights.
These two delays, this one here and the one we had around the 5-minute mark, 4 or 5-minute mark, when all the penalties piled up, have slowed down this first period. But again, as we said at that point, better to take the time to explain what's going on and make sure everybody knows what's going on than to.
And Matt, both these coaches need very little explanation. Both coaches are NCAA ice hockey referees, both Bruce Parker and Ron Skibbon. So if you had a coach back there who was not as familiar with the rules, this explanation would take a lot longer.
We're back at even strength, although there is still one player in the penalty box. He's just waiting for his time to expire. That's Williams. Here's Blum. Playing toward goal, Rajonen comes up with the save. Gottschall with it, tries to play it back for Blum, and he does, and Blum returns the pass to Gottschall. The save made by Rajonen. Puck loose in front and is cleared away by Nemec.
Two excellent saves by Rajonen. First on Ken Blum, and then on Craig Gottschall right in the slot. And that time we were able to see the speed and the strength of Ken Blum as he went around the outside of the Montclair defenseman and let a quick wrist shot go. But a great save by the goaltender. There we take a look at him.
Stoppage in play as the puck went into the St. Joe's bench. So we'll have a face-off just outside the blue line. Beiersdorfer and Eberle taking the face. Here's Blum with it. Tries to make a move around Corcoran. A nice hip check by Corcoran. Just got a piece of him, sent them flying.
That time Blum trying to accentuate it a little bit, hoping to draw a penalty. But our two officials tonight not buying it. Here we'll see right there. Could actually have been called a trip.
Yeah, got that left leg out. Back to action with 49 seconds to play in the opening period. And a hand pass called. Montclair leading 2-0. Looking to avenge an earlier season loss to St. Joe. 5-2 was that mark. That last goal, the fifth one, coming on an empty netter.
With just a half a minute remaining, Rajonen for Montclair has played an excellent first period in nets for the Mounties, stopping numerous scoring opportunities by St. Joe.
Blum loses his edge along the boards, pushes it into the corner for Gottschall. Corcoran is there. He plays it off the boards. Blum has it. Now the puck free. Blum with it. Plays it back to the point. At least tries to it. Beiersdorfer intercepts. Beiersdorfer plays it off the boards nicely for Clark. Clark tries to get around Allen, cannot. Nice check made by Allen. 6 seconds left in the period. Here's Beiersdorfer with 3. And we get a whistle for an offside with 1 second to play in the first period. Between the first and second, the Zamboni will come out, cut the ice. So we'll talk a little bit about the first period in our intermission session, which will be forthcoming as the first period is recorded in the books as a 2-0 advantage for the Montclair Mounties. We'll take a short break, come back with more right after this. Montclair leads 2-0 after 1. Both of their goals in the first period are power play goals. And the first one comes off the stick of number 8, Brian Felber.
This time you see Felber take the face-off. Quick shot by Hunter Ross. And then watch Felber right there between the legs of Brad Pearson. That gives Montclair a 1-0 lead. And here's all the excitement that started that caused the second power play goal by Montclair. Watch this check coming up right here. Boom! And then subsequent, more players coming in on the left side of your screen. That gave another power play to Montclair. And again, this time they converted. This time it was Hunter Ross as he tees up the shot from the point. And I'm not quite sure if it hit someone or if Brad Pearson just fanned, but it gave Montclair the 2-0 lead.
Brad Mandry and Chris Kenrick, the assists on that goal. The first one, the assist goes to Ross. Felber with the goal at 10:31. Then the second goal, Ross scoring, and Mandry and Kenrick with the assists. So 2 power play goals by Montclair. They outshot St. Joe 11-4 in that first period. We're going to take a short break here. We'll come back with the second period right after this. Second period just underway at the Montclair Arena. Fresh ice surface. And that should affect play, speed things up just a little bit. 2-0 Montclair advantage. Puck intercepted by Eberle, cleared away by Rajonen. And here's Clark. He has it knocked away by Marquis. Hunter Ross with it. Plays it off the boards behind the net. Pearson leaves it off for Scott Williams. Williams, cross-ice pass for Eberle. Eberle skates in, fakes the shot, now tries to play it out in front. Ross sticks it away.
That time Eberle should have taken the shot. He walked in to about 40 feet out on the right-hand side. Matt, this first goal here in the second period is going to be a big one. If Montclair scores it, taking a 3-0 lead, it might take St. Joe's out of their game. If St. Joe scores it, puts them right back where they want to be.
Rob Haberbush out to take the face-off. John Lively out there for St. Joe. Correction, that's Mark Umeda. Umeda and Haberbush off the face. And it's controlled by St. Joe. Here's Marquis. Off the boards, he plays it into the Montclair end. Rajonen tries to leave it off for a teammate. Loose puck out in front, and now it is picked up by Kenrick. Chris Kenrick into the corner. Tim Allen near him. Soft check applied by Allen. Umeda with it. Up along the boards. Dave Infantino comes out. 3-on-2 break if they hurry. Infantino across the blue line, and it's knocked away by Corcoran. Behind the net, Umeda with it. He's checked by Corcoran. Infantino plays it back to the point. Big slap shot goes wide by Tim Allen. Out in front, shot goes wide as Umeda was camped out in front. Check, that was Chris Frosk out in front. Now the puck comes out to center ice.
2 good scoring chances by St. Joe's. First Mark Umeda, and that time Chris Frosk just missed chances in front.
Teams change on the fly. We have played about 2 minutes. Headman pass a little too far. Now it's loose out in front, goes off the post. Blum with the backhander went off the post. Rajonen came out to stop the puck. He couldn't cover up. It came free, and Blum with the backhand off the post. And the slap shot just goes wide down the other end by O'Connor. The freshman just misses the goal. That would have made it 3-0.
Boy, has this game opened up from a tight checking first period. Now we're freewheeling.
Eberle into the Montclair end. Out in front. Shot deflected over the boards. And we'll have a face-off in the circle to the left of Reiku Rajonen.
Very sneaky play by St. Joe's. They hid Ken Blum on the blue line and tried to sneak him in. Here you see it, also Phil Eberle. Now watch, the puck squirts loose. There's the backhand, bing, right off that post. And that preserves the 2-0 lead for Montclair.
DiGeronimo off the boards. This is Hunter Ross. Plays it up along the boards. Puck kept in, and now it comes out. Felber with it. The sophomore loses control. Beiersdorfer picks it up. Sharp angle. And the rebound save made by Pearson off of Felber down in front. End-to-end action in the second period. Umeda tries to feed a pass ahead to Infantino a little too far. Infantino goes cross ice. Coming in is Williams. The slapper goes into the corner. Beiersdorfer tries to clear it off the boards, and it just comes out. And we get an offside as it was sent back in, and Umeda touched it as he was offside.
Mark Umeda, just a sophomore. Small guy, 5'4", 130 pounds. And we'll take a look at that scoring opportunity by Montclair. Quick wrist shot by Eric Beiersdorfer. Nice save by Brad Pearson. And then the rebound just skips into the corner.
Eberle and Haverbush on the face, and the puck's controlled by St. Joe. This is Blum. Blum loses it. Gottschall picks it up. Slap shot save made by Rajonen. Puck not cleared. Eberle keeps it in, but it's picked up by DiGeronimo, who flips it ahead. Cross ice pass. Here's Blum with it. Blum has a man on his left, and he whistles a shot and a goal. Shot handcuffed Rajonen, and it's 2-1.
A quick wrist shot by Ken Blum. Not particularly hard, but I think Rajonen didn't see it or couldn't get his right arm out to block the shot. There it is, quick shot. Beats him on the stick side, and just like that, St. Joe's cuts the deficit in half. Montclair leads 2-1.
39th goal of the year for Blum. Goal comes at 3:38 of the second period. Now let's see if that brings St. Joe's to life. Umeda with the shot, Rajonen with the save. Ross in the corner, tries to get away from Infantino, and now brings it out. Flipping it ahead for O'Connor. Now the puck played out in front. Greenwald can't control. Back to the point it goes. DiGeronimo sends it ahead. Umeda headmans a pass ahead, but it'll be just too far for Infantino, and we'll get iced.
Dave Greenwald from Montclair just missed that good scoring opportunity as he couldn't quite control the puck on his backhand. There we take a look at Bruce Parker, his 6th year at the helm of the Montclair Mounties.
They finished 26-2 last year and winning their 2nd successive state championship. A lot of graduates off that team, however. Phil Mandry, John Frank, Darren List, Ed Krupp, among others. Four players converge on the puck. St. Joe comes out with it. Allen plays it ahead to Eberle. Eberle drops it for Blum. Blum fans on the shot. He tried to bring it backhand into his forehand and lost it. 2-on-1 break. Felber, and a nice back-checking job done by Eberle to knock Felber off the puck and stop Felber from getting a shot on goal.
Excellent back-checking by Phil Eberle, the junior, right now with 25 goals. And there you saw some of his defensive qualities as he was back-checking.
Offside is the call. Blum was offside when he received the pass. Then Beiersdorfer pushed him, and a little pushing and shoving, but I don't believe we're going to get a call of any penalty. Here's Montclair's opportunity, or excuse me, St. Joe's chance first. That's Blum fanning on the shot, then the breakout pass. It's 2-on-1.
And watch on the right side of your screen right there. Notice the stick. Not enough to be hooking, but enough to take Brian Felber off the pass. And that preserved the goal for St. Joe's.
Racing in is DiGeronimo, takes a shot and a glove save by Pearson. Tried to go short side and Pearson was up to it.
Watch, you see the quick shot. Now watch the screen. Pearson doesn't see this real well as it comes between two bodies, but right there he holds on. And a little intimidation there, bringing his stick up just to ward off the Montclair player.
Puck loose, side of the net, now cleared off the boards, but it's kept in. Deflection in front, saved by Pearson, back out in front. He sweeps it away, puck loose in the corner. Infantino just gets it out of danger. Rajonen lets it go, and we get the icing. For a moment, Rajonen looked like he was going to stop it. That would have ended the icing call, but at the last minute decided to just lift up the leg and the stick, and we get the icing. Rajonen, just a sophomore. He and Ryan Hallam share the net-minding duties for the Mounties. Both are sophomores.
Shots on goal at this point, 15-7 in favor of Montclair. Brad Manger really took a beating in front of that net. Twice he was dumped by the defenseman. At one time he was pushed right into Brad Pearson, and he wouldn't give up his territory. He wanted to stay right there in the crease and create havoc, and that's exactly what he did.
Scott Williams behind the net. Now bad pass out in front. It's free. And finally we get a whistle and some more pushing and shoving going on. 17. Vin Godleski and Ed Holmes step into the middle of the fray and separate the combatants.
You won't see any penalties here, Matt. We'll take a closer look at it. There's the puck. As it's underneath somebody, that massive humanity there is covering up the puck, and now you see the little rough stuff. That time it was Scott Williams taking liberties with the Montclair player.
5:45 gone by in the second period. 2-1 the score in favor of Montclair. Teams making changes as Vin Godleski is checking the net to make sure it's on its posts correctly, secured properly.
That's a tough net down that end too, because at this point of the season the red line has worn away. There's nothing to guide yourself by other than the red lines on the boards.
Ross, high shot deflected by Gottschall, tries to headman the pass to Blum, who is net hanging, would you call it?
That's exactly what you would call it. He's hanging down the other end looking for that breakout pass.
Blum still at center ice, Ross watching him. This is Blum with it, 1-on-3. Beautiful pass for Gottschall. Gottschall bumped off the puck by DiGeronimo. Puck in front, Beiersdorfer picks it up. Montclair trying to break out. It's knocked in by Eberle. Ross has it at center ice. Flips it into the corner. Tim Allen with it, goes behind his net, tries to play it for Marquis, goes past him to Eberle. Eberle backhands it off the boards. Ross there at center ice. 8:25 to play in the second period. Ross waits for his teammates to get onside, flips it in. Montclair makes a change. Allen for Eberle. Eberle up ice for Blum, too far, knocked away by Ross. Now Gottschall sends it to Blum. Blum circling, plays it cross ice. Here's Eberle with it in the circle, skating in front. Eberle heavily checked by DiGeronimo. No penalty call. DiGeronimo might have been a little high with that check, but no call.
In this kind of game, Matt, you'll let the players get away with a little bit more because they're the better players, and you will not see much retaliation. And when that happens, you can let the guys a little more leeway to first go around. Now Vin Godleski has a delayed penalty call.
We have a high sticking call, and it'll be against Chris Kenrick. So Kenrick will sit it out for 2.
7, white, minor, high stick.
I didn't touch the guy.
You heard Kendrick say, I never touched the guy.
Vin Godleski with a different opinion of that situation. So Kenrick sits it out for 2. Penalty comes at 7:21 of the second period. And we'll see whether or not Kenrick did touch the man. Looking on the left, let's see, Kenrick comes in.
Couldn't tell from that replay. It might have happened a little sooner. This is a real test for the Montclair defense. St. Joe's with that potent offense will be looking to equalize this game with just about halfway through at 7:39 remaining here in the second period.
Williams, big slapper, screen shot. That's cleared away from in front of the net by Dan Corcoran. That was set up beautifully, but Rajonen came up with the stop. Williams cross ice for Marquis. It's Williams and Marquis at the point. Gottschall, Eberle, and Blum, the forwards on this power play try. Here's Marquis. Big blast, the floater, and it's cleared. Brian Felber, Julian Clark, Dan Corcoran, and Hunter Ross out to kill the penalty for Montclair.
What a save by Caggiano on that shot from Scott Williams at the left point. Outstanding. That went between the legs of one of the Montclair players, and I don't know how he saw it, but he was able to get his right pad on it, and then Hunter Ross cleared the rebound away.
Montclair makes a change. St. Joe with the same 5 skaters. Little trouble getting this rush going. Here's Gottschall at center ice. Fans on his pass attempt for Eberle. Plus puck is loose at center ice, and it's knocked away by Beiersdorfer. Good job of killing the penalty by Montclair.
Excellent job. Other than that one shot, St. Joe's has been stifled here with just 45 seconds remaining.
Puck kept in by St. Joe's, and now it's knocked away, and a break for Beiersdorfer. Williams coming back. Beiersdorfer ahead. Can't get the shot on goal, but Williams will go off, and will it be a penalty shot?
Yes, it will. Ed Holmes is calling a penalty shot.
A penalty shot taken as Beiersdorfer was ahead of the field, and Williams tripped him up.
Here's a replay. Watch Beiersdorfer, with no one to beat but the goaltender, is taken down from behind. Phil Eberle did the only thing he could, which was to take out the skates of Eric Beiersdorfer. And now, probably one of the most exciting opportunities in ice hockey, the one-on-one situation, the shooter and the goaltender.
Indeed, among the most exciting sports moments, not just in hockey, but in sports, as the entire ice is cleared. It's shooter against netminder. Right now, Bruce Parker is talking to his team. I imagine it'll be Beiersdorfer who will take it. But also surrounding Parker are DiGeronimo, Ross, Felber. We'll take a look at the penalty one more time. It does look like it'll be Beiersdorfer coming out.
Here you see it. Beiersdorfer going in all alone. And unfortunately, Phil Eberle had no other choice. Diving, swinging his stick, took the skates right out from underneath him. And that's why we'll have the penalty shot. There is no rebound on a penalty shot. The skater must go directly in. He gets one attempt at the goaltender. Once the puck is either stopped across the goal line, the shot has ended. Here we go.
And a big save by Pearson. Beiersdorfer came right in. Pearson held his ground, went down, and made the pad save.
Brad Pearson played that beautifully. He came out slowly, challenged the shooter. Here's the look. Right there, Beiersdorfer coming over with confidence. Now he makes his move. He's trying to pick a hole. Looked like he was trying to go between the legs. Brad Pearson, the senior goaltender, was able to close them up just in time and deny Eric Beiersdorfer a goal.
It stays at 2-1 in favor of Montclair. 31 seconds remaining in the Kenrick penalty. Williams will now sit it out for 2 minutes, so the teams will skate.
Matt, that's a mistake. That penalty should not be up on the clock. He has to sit in the box for 2 minutes, but they're not down a man for 2 minutes. All penalties must be served. I think they're going to make a change on that.
Well, they do have 5 skaters out. It's up on the boards as for 2 minutes, and I think that's what Ed Holm is saying. Take down the fact that there's a penalty up there. And I believe that's what they'll do. So a 5-on-4 skating advantage for 31 seconds for St. Joseph's.
Yes, they will continue on the power play.
That would seem to be an unfair situation, the penalty shot and the penalty.
The only time that happens is if during the course of the penalty shot, the penalty calls for a major infraction.
Here's Blum with it. Fans on his pass, and Clark has it. Julian Clark breaking in on Pearson. The puck is swept away by Marquis. 10 seconds remaining on the Kenrick penalty.
Was that a replay or was that live? We just saw that 30 seconds ago.
The difference was Marquis took the puck and not the skates. Hunter Ross clears it down as the penalty expires. Kenrick out of the box. Teams are 5 aside. 5:35 to play in the second period. Pearson comes up big on Felber as the puck is cleared to center ice.
Giveaway by St. Joe's right there, and Brian Felber tried to pull the trigger. Brad Pearson up to the task.
Pearson with the leg save off the Beiersdorfer slapper. Marquis ahead for Blum. Blum has it stick checked away by Ross. Now it's stolen by Eberle, but he's got to turn around because Blum would have been offside. Plays it for Gottschall left side. Gottschall tries to lift it in. It's knocked down by Corcoran, who clears it into center ice. Here's another break for Beiersdorfer. Tim Allen trying to cut him off, the backhander, and the save by Pearson. And we're going to get a penalty called on St. Joe, a delayed call. And now we get the penalty whistled as the puck is touched by Chris Kloss.
There you see Eric Beiersdorfer, big, strong,
16 green trip.
Using his speed, that time going around the outside. Tim Allen making the dive to take him out of the play. There we see as it comes over the blue line, putting his sights right on Brad Pearson.
Now, Pete, why would that be called just simply a penalty where the other one was called a penalty shot? Is it something unwritten that you wouldn't call 2 in a row?
There's nothing you might say that, other than the fact that the first time he was going directly in, right down the middle, had no one to beat. This time he came from the angle, and the trip came from the angle. He must be pulled down directly from behind. That time, both the man was on the angle and the person doing the infraction was coming in on an angle. Like anything else, Matty, everything is judgment.
Dan Corcoran and Hunter Ross will be at the point. Brian Felber, Brad Mandry, and Chris Kenrick, the forwards on this penalty and power play opportunity for Montclair. Here's Felber, skating in front, save made by Pearson. Quick shot by Felber, who just skated in all alone.
Very nice play by Brian Felber, moving from his left to his right, then try to go back to the short side. But Brad Pearson made the good pad save.
Here's Kenrick, loses it in front, and it's poked away at the last minute. Dave Infantino poking it away. Puck behind the net, this is Marquis. Marquis headmans the pass for Umeda, knocked away by Ross. Nice play by Hunter Ross. Sent off the boards by Felber. Marquis and Dusabau out to kill the penalty along with Infantino and Umeda. Corcoran with the slap shot, blocker save made by Pearson. Skating in is Mandry, backhanded across the goal mouth, it comes clear. He was looking for Kenrick, Kenrick couldn't get a stick on it. Here's Mandry behind the net, tries to send it in front and does. Kenrick taken down as he fires the shot on goal. 29 seconds remaining in the penalty to Allen.
Notice the poise of Montclair. They don't rush the shot on the power play. Even when he had it 20, 25 feet out, he was looking for a better shot.
Marquis sends it ahead. Here's Blum. Blum has a teammate, Gottschall, in front. Blum in the corner with it. Tries to play it in front. Corcoran has it. 5 seconds remaining in the Allen penalty, and Corcoran sends it in. Chase is on. Gottschall checked into the boards by Clark. At the point, this is DiGeronimo. Quickly sets up the slapper, sticked aside by Pearson. 2:35 to play in the second period. 2-1 Montclair lead. Puck kept in by DiGeronimo. Skates in all alone, the slapper, high shot. And almost got our camera operator, Denise Balish.
I think she has a souvenir, though.
Flips the puck back in.
And look at that.
See, there are 4 gentlemen up there in that location. 3 of them are behind that net. Denise doesn't have that luxury.
The puck is on its edge, and that's why it goes so high. Look at that.
Oh, that hit the camera, I believe.
But she's still smiling.
Ooh, that was awfully close.
Who said it wasn't dangerous to be a camera person?
I did. I never ran camera. 2:13 to play in the second period. Montclair with the 2-1 lead. They scored twice in the first period. St. Joe has scored 1 here in the second. Here's Allen breaking out. Playing it ahead for Infantino. Infantino applies the break, sends it in front for Umeda. Diving stop made by DiGeronimo as Umeda couldn't tee it up. John Kidden leaves it off for O'Connor. Now coming in is Nemeth, his shot, and the save by Pearson. Back to the point it goes. O'Connor flips it in front. Backhander goes wide by Kidden. The third line for Montclair doing a nice job here. Here's O'Connor. Now Kidden in the corner. Plays it out for Greenwald. Greenwald checked into the boards hard by Allen. And I believe that puck went into the Montclair bench, came out. And that's why you get the whistle and the stop.
That's exactly what happened, Matt. 2 keys so far with just a minute and a half remaining here in the second period. 1, Montclair has been able to neutralize Ken Blum. And 2, no doubt about it, Montclair is hustling tonight. They are out skating St. Joe's to the puck. They're out shooting them. They're out skating them all around. Watch this hit in the corner, right there. Boom.
And the glass.
Tim Allen
comes loose,
leveling the Montclair player.
Beiersdorfer ahead, knocked away by Williams. Gottschall looking for Blum. 1:09 to play in the second period.
Matty, that's probably what saved him, the fact that that's what a Zamboni door is and had a lot of give and was able to spring way back.
Beiersdorfer ahead for Clark. Possible 2-on-1 break here. Here's Clark. Puts on the brakes, looks to flip it in front for Beiersdorfer. It's knocked away by Blum. Blum breaking out. Under a minute to go in the second period. Puck knocked away and sent down into the St. Joe end. 35 seconds remaining. Second period action. We're at the Montclair Arena. Heavily cross ice pass. Nobody there, with the exception of Montclair's Rob Haberbush. We're going to get a penalty. And we're going to get an interference call against Brad Mandry.
Crowd disapproving of the call.
That's the Montclair crowd disapproving of the call. Let's see.
You see what Francois Marquis did on that? He's purposely stopped early and got in his way. That's a trick defenseman use, and that time he got away with it. Usually an official will let that go, but this time he'll sit for 2.
That's not Mandrake the Magician sitting out 2 minutes. That's Brad Mandry in the box. Penalty call with 16 seconds remaining in the period. So assuming Montclair can now hold off this last 14 seconds, the penalty will extend into the third and final period.
I remember what happened last time when St. Joe's had the power play. Montclair carried all the play.
3 seconds remaining. And that'll do it. The horn sounds to end the second period. 2-1 the score. Montclair on top of St. Joe's will return for the third and final 15 minutes of action after this. The only score in the second period came off the stick of Ken Blum. Phil Eberle with the assist. It came at 3:38 of the period. That cut the Montclair lead in half. And we have 15 minutes of action. Still to skate. St. Joe will start off with a man advantage. 1:44 left to the interference penalty called against Brad Mandry. And if you think that it's easy to be a camera operator for ice hockey, well, take a look at this shot, folks. No 3D glasses needed here. This is going to come right into your living room.
Keep your eye on the puck. Even the goaltender, Brad Pearson, turned around to see where it went.
And that woman there, Denise Balish, is the one who was nearly hit. I don't believe she was actually hit. I think it just ticked off the side of the camera.
There you see the wide disparity in shots on goal through the first 2 periods of the game.
Phil Eberle, who assisted on that Blum goal, has the puck in the corner. Plays it off the boards for Marquis. Marquis goes cross ice for Williams. This is Blum with it. Blum scored his 39th goal, the only goal of the game for St. Joseph's. 1:13 left in the Mandry penalty.
St. Joe's taking their time trying to set up for that perfect shot.
Eberle with it in front, and he scores a power play goal by Phil Eberle as he goes between the legs of Riku Rajanen.
What an individual effort, picking up the puck with his back to the net, skating sideways, put 2 moves on, and then slid the puck right on the ice to tie this game at 2. Watch as he takes the cross-ice pass. It's in his skate. Now watch as he controls. There's 1 move. Now the deke. There's the shot right between the legs. And we're tied at 2, just a few seconds into the 3rd period. A big goal for St. Joe's.
Power play goal for the Green Knights. Knotting it up for Eberle, his 26th goal of the year. Puck in front.
What a chance right there for Chris Frosk as he couldn't handle the pass from behind the net.
Kenrick waits for the puck along the boards. Haberbush checked. Umeda with it. Now he's checked by DiGeronimo. Played out in front and cleared away by Kenrick. Dave Greenwald. And we have a penalty is going to be called on St. Joe. So Montclair will have a power play opportunity. Greenwald along the boards was victim of a high stick.
I think it's going to be Scott Williams.
17 high stick.
That's who it'll be, the senior Scott Williams. Watch right there. Coming down the side. The stick comes up. And must have been on that play when he came down the side. Scott Williams' stick came up just under the face mask of Dave Greenwald. And because of it, Montclair will get their power play.
For a moment there, Montclair only had 4 skaters on the ice. Corcoran plays it along the boards for Felber. It's sent around the boards for Blum. Kept in at the point by Ross. Here's Beersdorfer. Big slap shot, and it's deflected wide. Out to the point it comes for Corcoran. Flips it around the boards behind the net. Stopped by Felber. Felber bangs a pass off the boards for Corcoran. Slapper knocked down by Gottschall, and this is Blum with it. Blum sends it off the boards. His shot goes wide.
Nice defensive play by Craig Gottschall, getting down low, take that shot right away from the defenseman.
1 minute left in the penalty to Scott Williams. Blum has Gottschall ahead of him. Here's Gottschall, and the backhander is stopped by Rajanen. Gottschall had a perfect lead pass. He went to his backhand side by Rajanen, stayed with him.
Rajanen played that perfectly. He anticipated the backhand shot. He stacked his pads, slid across in anticipation, and was able to make the big save. Watch the nice pass by Ken Blum. Right there, soft and easy, right on his stick. There you see the deke to the backhand. And a big save by Rajanen.
It even looked like Riku might have knocked it off the stick before the shot took place.
Could have been, Matty. From the replay, it looked like that might have happened.
Puck kept in by Allen. DiGeronimo playing it ahead for Mandry. Brad Mandry crosses the blue line. Taken out of the play by Marquis as the puck goes to the corner. Mandry now has it. Mandry tries to come out in front, and Pearson puts his glove on it. We get a stoppage in action. 23 seconds left in the Williams penalty. 11:46 to play in the 3rd period.
That time, Brad Mandry, the senior, tried to come out from the corner, but Brad Pearson would not move from that near post as Mandry tried to tuck it home just inside between the leg of Brad Pearson and the goal post. There's Ron Skibbon, the coach of the Green Knights. His squad 18-1 this year. And from talking with them, they say the pressure's off now that they lost one.
Mandry came up with a bullet that was just wide down the other way. Here comes George Nemeth, circling away from Umeda. Now uses, well, he was going to use the net as a shield. Marquis sends it ahead as time expires on the Williams penalty. Teams are at even strength. Near steal here by Frost. Plays it for Infantino, and his backhander is stopped. Free puck, nobody sees it. Now it's taken by Haberbush. Haberbush ahead for Clark, too far. Marquis sends it into center ice. Infantino, backhander, was looking for Frost. This is Beiersdorfer. Infantino has it. Plays it to Umeda. Umeda tries to backhand it cross ice to Frost. It was knocked away by Felber. This is Geronimo. Avoids the check by Frost, and Felber has it. Left side pass for Beiersdorfer. Flips it ahead for Clark. In the corner it goes. Tim Allen with it. Plays it behind the net. Williams backhands it for Eberle. Eberle has Blum behind him. Eberle with it. Still with it. Goes behind the net. Still has the puck. Eberle with it. Plays it out in front. It's knocked away. And then it's finally cleared by Beiersdorfer.
Matty, a few players tonight have really impressed me. One is number 7 for St. Joe's, Mark Umeda. Just a sophomore, but he's had an outstanding game tonight.
Here's Eberle 2-on-1. Ross, the only defenseman back. Eberle, the bullet goes wide. He had Blum as the decoy. Saw a little alleyway, set up the slapper, he just sent it wide.
Nice shot by Eberle. Too bad he just missed that near post, probably a couple inches, or they would have been ahead.
9:35 left in our 2-2 game. Blum breaks in on net. Rajonen stands his ground and covers up.
Okay, here's where we're going to see that big slap shot by Phil Eberle. Watch him wind up, go for the short side, just missed that near post. As you saw, Hunter Ross had the other winger, Ken Blum, tied up, unable to make the pass across.
Once Ross made that commitment to Blum, Eberle let go with the shot. Of course, you've got to be careful with Blum out there. He scored 39 goals this year, 1 in this game. Of course, Eberle has scored a goal in this game. He's got 26, so what do? Caught between a rock and a hard place. That time, it didn't hurt Montclair. No, you got to make a choice.
Defensemen should usually pick up the trailer and let the shooter stay with the goaltender. That's exactly what they did, and it succeeded.
O'Connor's pass behind his teammate, and here comes St. Joe. Frost goes through the defenseman, Nemeth, but then Rajonen came out to knock the puck free. Here's Frost, his pass intercepted. Nemeth leaps over Marquis.
Physical action picking up a little bit right now, Matt. As we're down in crunch time, just 8.5 minutes remaining tonight.
Marquis, high shot, goes off the glass behind the net. Williams slips and falls as he goes for the puck. Greenwald hit from behind, no call, and now, as you said, Pete, the play really getting physical. Corcoran and Williams going at it at center ice. We get a whistle, we have an offside.
Both teams complaining for penalties, but I don't think you're going to see any penalties unless it's very obvious. Game tied, just 8 minutes to go here in the third period.
Montclair led 2-0 after 1. They led 2-1 after 2. 45 seconds into the third period, Phil Eberle scored to knot it up.
The other fellow, Matt, I want you to keep your eye on is Hunter Ross, number 10 for Montclair, just a junior.
Eberle, slap shot, save made by
Rajonen seemed to be playing better as of late, coming out to challenge the shooters. They're playing with a lot more confidence.
Blum checked into the boards along the far side. The Montclair boards make a lot of noise.
Yes, they do. They're plastic or fiberglass, and whenever you just touch them, they make a lot of noise.
Checks sometimes sound worse than they are.
Absolutely.
Clark at center ice, plays it ahead. No offside, or rather icing call, but now we get one.
It's going to be an icing call. So far, Montclair has not had a shot on goal here in the third period, as it has been all St. Joe's. Both teams know the importance of this game. And coming up for St. Joe's, they have a big game Friday night in their home rink of Sportorama against the Green Dragons of Brick.
Slap shot of Allen's is deflected by Kenrick, and it comes out to center ice.
Montclair is coming off their game Saturday night where they beat MKA 3-2 right here at Montclair, which is always a rivalry game.
We saw MKA last week defeat Seton Hall Prep 4-3 in a game played here at the arena.
And that 4-3 victory enabled MKA to make the playoffs. And it's a good thing they beat Seton Hall, because then they lost to Montclair on Saturday night here.
Mark Umeda with the puck, playing it ahead. Chris Frost sends it in. Teams changing on the fly. Kenrick with it, backhands a pass into the St. Joe's end. 6.5 to play in the third period. Mandry with it, plays it in front for Kenrick. It goes past him and out to Eberle. Eberle has Blum ahead of him, lays it off for Blum. Blum, back pass for Eberle, skates in. Instead, passes it for Gottschall instead of taking the shot, and the puck comes to the corner. Out to the point, Marquis can't tee it up. Marquis skating in, has a lot of men in front of the net. It goes off the skate of Gottschall into the corner, and now the puck comes around the boards. Eberle sends it into the corner. Blum waiting behind the net. Flips it out in front. Eberle charging on. Someone got a stick on it. And Mandry sends it into center ice.
Good pressure by St. Joe's. Two excellent opportunities. That one stopped by his own teammate's skate as he was going for right between the pads.
Blum for Gottschall. Knocked off the puck, and it's lifted clear by Clark. 5:34 to play in the third period, and we'll get an icing call. The Montclair Arena is going to undergo a name change on February 18th. The late Clary Anderson, one of the truly great coaches in this state, coached football, coached some basketball. I'm not so sure there wasn't a sport he didn't coach. I believe he coached some hockey here at Montclair High School. Passed away recently, and they are going to name this arena after him. And that will be on February 18th. Montclair has the Petty School at home that night.
Montclair has to be careful here. They do not want to go into a defensive shell, as St. Joe's is really starting to turn the pressure on.
Puck out to the point. Allen, slap shot just deflected wide by Rajonen. He just got a piece of it.
Wow, what a save by Rajonen. I don't know how he saw it, but he was able to get his right toe on it and just deflected over the glass. Again, a lot of pressure by St. Joe's. The shot comes from the point, as we see right there. That's Tim Allen letting it go. Watch the toe, deflects off the toe and goes up over the glass, preserving the 2-2 tie.
Repeat, this 5:06 for Montclair is going to take a long time.
Yes, they will. Montclair is going to slow this game down a little bit right now. They notice that St. Joe's is starting to come on. They have to do something to get them off their game. Watch slower line changes. Right now we have a little stoppage because Brad Pearson of St. Joe's has an equipment problem. We'll wait for him to fix the strap in the back of his skate. But I expect Montclair to try to slow the pace down just a little bit. Right now, St. Joe's is hot.
Not only will Montclair try to slow things down, but the clock is going to go very slowly for them. St. Joe has really applied the pressure here. Kenrick plays it for Mandry. It's sent back in. Marquis bangs it off the boards.
Matt, we have just under 5 minutes to go, and Montclair has not had a shot on goal in this entire third period.
St. Joe's has dominated the third period, but we're tied at 2. Kenrick, slap shot, glove save made by Pearson. Couldn't hold on as the puck comes free. Here's Umeda, nice pass ahead for Infantino. Infantino at the blue line tries to go inside of Corcoran and cannot. Backhander out in front, puck is free, picked up by Mandry. Mandry just sends it ahead, killing time, allowing Montclair to make a change. Williams sends it up to the vacated wing. The only player there is Corcoran. Corcoran flips it ahead. Seems as if Montclair is almost content to go away with this 2-2 tie.
I think they're going to play it very close to the vest. If they get an opportunity to spring a wing, they'll do it. If not, they'll just get over their line and dump it out.
3:45 to play in the third period. Here's Julian Clark. Clark doesn't even want to take a shot. He flips it in, dumps and chases. And then we get a face-off as the puck is tied up along the boards. Montclair will take that, a face-off deep in St. Joe's end, stop the clock, give themselves a chance to catch their breath, and make St. Joe's come all the way down the other end for a shot attempt. Pete, we might look for a play in a situation like this that St. Joe's calls their sky ball play. It's almost like an alley-oop. But the man to look for on the sky ball is Francois Marquis. He likes to flip the puck high in the air in a lead situation for a teammate and lead him for a possible breakaway. Here, Montclair almost had the go-ahead, but Pearson is able to cover up. So we may see something like that. Look for Blum maybe to take off, or Eberle with a burst of speed if Marquis can gather it in.
That is because Francois Marquis has an uncanny ability to be able to flip the puck 15, 20 feet in the air, but not that far, just past the defenseman, and look for him to spring a winger like a Ken Blum or Phil Eberle to go in on the breakaway.
He doesn't have much more than 15 or 20 feet to flip it. If he goes much more, he'll hit the top of the roof.
Oh, this is a small building.
3:31 to play in the third period. Face-off controlled by Montclair. Hunter Ross with a shot, deflected in front, still loose in front. Still free and finally cleared away by Marquis. Slap shot knocked down by Marquis. Into the corner it goes. Felber with it. Plays it back for DiGeronimo. Tries to tee it up. He's knocked off the puck by Eberle. Puck's kept in. Felber with it. Plays it cross ice for Clark. Clark has Beiersdorfer open but doesn't see him. Now the puck tied up along the corner, and it's sent back to the point. 2:55 to play. Puck sent all the way down, and we get icing. Blum hanging dangerously around the Montclair blue line.
Looking for that breakout pass.
But Ross shadowing him everywhere he goes.
With just under 3 minutes to go, that's what you have to do. Montclair, 1 or 2 real good scoring opportunities. That time Brad Pearson had to be sharp as the puck was bouncing all around the crease, but nobody was there to tuck it home. There we take a look at the St. Joe's bench.
John Kidden with it, checked from behind. Puck out in front. Williams coming in from the blue line, circles around, flips it cross ice for Marquis. Marquis shot between the pads, but Rajonen holds on.
Rajonen making the good save. Puck was coming right between the pads. He dropped down to his knees, got his legs in front of it, and was able to hold on for the whistle.
Riku Rajonen coming up big at 2:19.
Watch the pass that comes across. There you see Francois Marquis letting the shot go. Right there, you see him squeeze his pads. holding on for the whistle as Mark Yumita was just waiting for a rebound.
2:19 to play in the third period.
Each team is allowed a 1-minute timeout. Neither team has taken theirs yet. But being the strategist that each of these coaches are tonight, I expect one to use theirs soon.
Blum on for the face along with Felber. Blum wins it out in front and a big save by Rajonen. Gottschall all alone in front. Rajonen came up with the stop.
He earned his keep right there. 2 minutes to go, he makes a point-blank save on Craig Gottschall to preserve the 2-2 tie. Outstanding.
Gottschall all alone out in front. Could have made it 3-2. Rajonen stoned him. We get a whistle to stop play. 1:52 to play in the third period. Biggest save of the night by Riku Rajonen.
You will not see a better save than this. The pass comes from Ken Blum behind the net. Watch, he one-times it right there. Anticipation by Rajonen, and he makes the save.
Blum and Felber on the face once again. Here's Felber with it for Beiersdorfer. High shot, goal! Eric Beiersdorfer goes high in the corner, and he makes it 3-2.
Again, the importance of having the face-off in your attacking zone and the importance of winning the face-off. That time, Montclair won the face-off. Eric Beiersdorfer picked up the puck about 15 feet out just to the left and beat Brad Pearson high to the glove side.
Beiersdorfer kept it in. Felber finds him and beats on the high glove side. Beiersdorfer beating Pearson just like you said, Pete. Beiersdorfer was able to keep the puck in after the face-off and then got himself into position. Felber with the assist. 1:47 to play.
And what a celebration dance. I haven't seen one like that since Icky Woods in the NFL this year.
Here's Felber, plays it out in front, and a beautiful save by Pearson off of Beiersdorfer, who was camped in front.
Watch this opportunity right there. Backhander by Beiersdorfer. Pearson makes the save, and then the puck is starting to trickle behind him, but he reaches back there and scoops it up with the glove.
Pearson glancing at the scoreboard. It shows Montclair 3, St. Joe's 2, 1:33 to play. Let's see when Pearson will come out.
That goes to show you it doesn't matter how many shots, just quality shots. Through the first 9 or 10 minutes of this third period, Montclair had no shots on goal at all.
Marquis shot goes wide. Sent down the other way with 1:11 to play. We get the icing, and now we may see Pearson come out. At the very least, he'll probably come to the blue line.
Well, we're going to have a timeout right now by St. Joe's, and that's exactly what they're going to talk about right now.
St. Joseph's calls timeout with 1:09 left to play. They trail 3-2, and they'll look for the equalizer. They'll try to get that sixth skater on. You can be sure they're going to have Blum, Eberle, Gottschall out there, probably Marquis. Now we'll see who else they send out, but you know those four guys are going to be out there.
There's Ron Skibbins. This is the one that puts Montclair ahead 3-2. Good play right there to keep the puck in the zone. Now you see Brian Felber slide the pass across to Beiersdorfer. Quick wrist shot. Brad Pearson had no chance from about 15 feet out. High to the glove side, and there's that celebration dance. Bruce Parker making sure his players know the importance of this last 1 minute and 9 seconds.
It would be a bit of a surprise if Montclair were to win their third straight state championship, but they feel they are gelling. Bruce said to me last night that if his team gets to the Final 8, it'll be a good season. If we can get to the Final 4, he says that's gravy. Now, if they get that far, they could be dangerous.
Yes. Matt, some of the teams that our viewers might be aware of that are in the state tournament: St. Joe's, which we're seeing tonight, Brick High School, Christian Brothers, Montclair, who we're seeing tonight, Toms River East, Toms River North, Clifton, MKA, Hudson Catholic, Paramus Catholic, St. Joseph Metuchen, St. Peter's Prep, West Essex, and West Orange. And then you have the Morris County League, Del Barton, who is probably the #2 team in the state behind St. Joe's, Chatham, Morris Knolls, Randolph, Mount Olive, and Roxbury.
Gottschall, Eberly, Blum, Williams, and Marquis out there. Pearson back in net with 1:09 to play. Montclair has Corcoran, Mandry, Kenrick, Haberbush, and Ross. And it looks as if
Montclair is taking their time
out the other way.
Yep.
A little bit of strategy there.
Well, Bruce saw what St. Joe's was going to do, but it's possible that Skibbin was trying to decoy him a little bit and force him to call a timeout. Who knows what the games the coaches are playing. This Sunday at 9:30, you can catch a high school basketball matchup. #6 Woodbridge taking on #5 Perth Amboy in a Greater Middlesex Conference Red Division game. That's Sunday at 9:30 on TV3. Montclair led 2-0 after 1, 2-1 after 2. Early in this period, Eberly scored to tie it up 2-2, and then Beiersdorfer scoring a late goal to make it 3-2 Montclair. They're looking to go 12-7 on the year and give St. Joe its first loss since the Petty game. First loss actually to a 4-year regulation high school, if you will.
And to someone who's in the same league as they
Right.
are.
Petty plays postgraduates, PGs, kids who have graduated from high school but have gone down to the school for an extra year of education. So they are not eligible for the state playoff. So
Correct.
this would be their first loss to a team on the same level, if you will. Now it's Felber out to take the face-off. Kept in by Marquis. And now it comes out to center ice. Here's Beiersdorfer. Beiersdorfer cutting in, has it knocked away by Williams. Beiersdorfer will be happy for a face-off. Felber, Williams, and Beiersdorfer freeze the puck along the boards. 54 seconds remaining.
Excellent play by Eric Beiersdorfer. All he wanted to do was to get the puck into the St. Joe's end, hold it for a whistle.
So Parker sends out a different crew, calls the timeout once he saw what St. Joe was going to do, and sends out Felber, Beiersdorfer, and Clark, his first unit. Face-off controlled by St. Joseph's. Here's Blum with it. Knocked away. Felber circling, plays it back for Beiersdorfer. Shot, save made by Pearson. Marquis looking ahead for Blum, has him. Blum tries to get around Ross. Pearson still in the net, short side shot, save made by Rajonen. And we get a face-off with 29 seconds to play. And now Pearson will come off for the 6th skater. Pearson comes off. Mark Umeda comes on, so 6 skaters. Umeda, Marquis, Williams, Blum, Gottschall, and Eberly. Felber, Beiersdorfer, Ross, Clark, and Corcoran on the ice for Montclair. Felber and Blum on the face-off. They can, they'll play it back to the point to Williams. Williams plays it over, side shot and a goal by Eberly! High corner shot, and it's tied at 3.
You're not going to see a better setup than that right there. The face-off was won in the corner, went back to the point, and they set up Phil Eberly on the side. There you see the pass come to the point. That Scott Williams is sliding it over to Phil Eberly. He one-times it high to the glove side, and with just 25 seconds left here in the 3rd period, St. Joe's ties the score at 3.
Blum won the face-off. They got the puck back to Williams. He found Eberly wide open in the circle, and he sent a bullet high, glove side. We had some videotape problems. We were unable to show you the final seconds of the game, but Pete, St. Joe's almost wins the game. Francois Marquis just misses with 4 seconds left, scoring a goal.
There you see the shot, wrist shot, tries to go for the far side, just missed that pipe, or that might have put St. Joe's ahead 4-3.
But time runs out, and we end in a 3-3 score, and a game that matched last year's excitement of the state final. The difference, of course, last year Montclair won. Here we end in a 3-3 tie.
But a great game all around. Good forechecking, good hitting, good skating. The game was close. We had the one goal with about 2.5 minutes to go, and then the tying goal by St. Joe's with just 25 seconds to go. Outstanding.
Eric Beiersdorfer scored the goal that made it 3-2 in favor of Montclair, and I thought at that point Montclair was going to be able to hold off the St. Joe charge. You could understand that St. Joe's perhaps would have had the wind taken out of their sails, but Beiersdorfer picks up the goal off the Brian Felber feed, made it 3-2. That came late in the ball game, 13-13 mark of the third period, and big celebration by Beiersdorfer.
Absolutely, and we thought that would be the last goal of the game. But here we see the St. Joe's tying goal as Scott Williams just slides the puck over to Phil Eberle, who lets it go on the fly, scoring high up top, and that goal right there tied up the score for St. Joe's.
Came with 25 seconds left, and then Marquis had that opportunity, but was unable to find that high corner. So we end 3-3. Does this game do anything for either team, say anything about either team as the playoffs and Gordon Cup playoffs approach?
I think both teams will look on this experience as positive. Montclair was able to skate, shoot, and play with probably the top team in the state. St. Joe's, on the other hand, knows that they can be down and come back. They pulled their goaltender, Brad Pearson, at the end to put that extra skater on, and they know it doesn't matter as long as there's time on the clock, they can come back.
3-3 the final score tonight from the Montclair Arena. Montclair and St. Joe's end up deadlocked. And that'll wrap up our coverage of tonight's ice hockey matchup. For Pete Caggiano, I'm Matt Lachlan. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.